So I wanted to real quickly jump on and talk about a news story for the tabletop RPG space that maybe not everybody realizes is for the tabletop RPG space. The comics distributor called Diamond Distribution. Huge comics distributor. It was where most comic shops got their comics for decades. It is massive. Over the past couple of years, they've been having problems. They today announced that they are going to file for bankruptcy. This is a company that for a long time, like if you wanted comics, you went through them if you were running a local comic shop. Like Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, all of those companies, you had to go through the Diamond Distribution. The reason this affects the tabletop RPG market is because they also have a game makers alliance, basically. They have a game distribution system underneath them as well. And a lot of shops got their games from this distribution network. So that distribution network having problems could inhibit the ability to get a lot of games. Now, D&D is probably not going to be hurt too much by this. They're massive enough to sort of form other deals and deal directly with the shops and do other things. But a lot of marginal companies who can't afford to run their own distribution networks, you know, your mid-tier games, your Goodman games and things like that, they might get affected by this. In fact, Goodman Games, I think, has an exclusive license with them for distribution. So this could actually affect Goodman Games and other publishers along that level. And earlier today, I saw somebody suggest that it was like the Wizard's Attic. Now, Wizard's Attic is a company from the early 2000s. If you want to know what happened with them, I would recommend reading Shannon Appleklein's Dungeons and Designers, specifically the era of the 2000s, because it talks about it. Wizard's Attic was a major distributor for the D20 boom. It had the best of intentions, right? The guys who put it together were like, yeah, we just need to make this distribution for all these D20 products that are going out. It was a huge thing. And it failed. Fell hard on its face. And people weren't getting paid, which is a problem. Role-playing games have always been about tight margins. They're not making a lot of money. So when you have an interruption in that flow, a lot of businesses went under. The D20 collapse can be laid at the feet of the failure of Wizard's Attic to a certain extent. So when you see a distributor who handles a bunch of mid-tier games suddenly filing for bankruptcy, this rings alarm bells. I hope it doesn't turn into that. But there's a history there. So there's some legitimate concern. They say they are selling the company to a Canadian distribution company, and that may, save things. But Chapter 11 means that they're sort of, we can't pay you all right now. And when you're talking about companies that are working on tight margins, that can be a problem. So it'll be interesting to see where this story goes. I figured I would briefly talk about it for people who were not aware of what all of that means. And yeah, keep an eye on it.